All right, welcome back. We've got the Anthony Davis to the Wizards trade to go over. So the Wizards got Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum, another one of my guys, not on the same level as like some of these other guys I've been talking about as my guys, but Exum is amongst the maybe the tier below that.
And wasn't he the bad guy in one of the 2Ks? Like he was your rival?
Was that a thing? That would have been probably
2015, 2K14, 2K.
He was in either the 13 or the 14 class. I can't remember now. The same class as Aaron Gordon, I want to say. And
Julius Randle. At least if you were a point guard, I think he was your rival.
That would make sense, actually. And now that you say that, word it that way, I actually remember this. I think I do remember that. But yeah, he was a bust in Utah and then fell out of league and then came back onto the scene with a golden year over in Serbia playing for Partizan. And then that earned him a spot back in the NBA where he came to the Mavericks and has been a good role player.
Did he go straight to the Mavericks? My brain has an Orlando jersey on him for some reason, but I'm probably just stupid.
You're probably thinking of Michael Carter Williams. Because they are very similar size.
Same draft class.
I don't know if they're the same class. It might have been. They would have been drafted around that same time period. But Michael Carter Williams was rookie of the year.
Has a triple-double in his second NBA game.
First game. And it was close to a triple-double. It was almost a quadruple-double.
It was a quad?
Almost. It was like seven assists and 9 steals or something like that.
Wow. Imagine being a fan of that. You'd be like, we're set for life. And then it just turns into the rest of the Michael Carter Williams experience. Anyway, Dante Exum is now a Wizard.
Yeah, and then the Dallas half of this deal, they got Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, and then they got the real stuff, the reason why they did this deal, the picks. 2026 first round from OKC, a 2030 first from Golden State, which is top 20 protected, 2026 second round pick from Phoenix, 27 second from Chicago, and a 29 second from Houston. So I mean, Anthony Davis wasn't going to get much more of a return than this. This was kind of, Washington maybe overpaying slightly because of AD's health concerns and everything. But this is one of the more perfect places for AD to go at this point, to be paired with a point guard like Trae Young and having a front court mate like Alex Sarr, who can just do all of the Anthony Davis job if Anthony Davis isn't playing for your basketball team, which is a reoccurring issue with Anthony Davis.
That was a poetic way to put that.
So that's going to be a good way. I just feel like that's a good environment to bring AD into at this point in his career. And I like this. It's a very different route to take as a rebuilding franchise. The Wizards just pushing in their chips for pretty, stars that have pretty big question marks and concerns on them on whether or not they can lead you to the mountaintop. But, Washington has been a kind of a shit show, for lack of a better word, for quite a while now. So,
well, also, worst case, you get some mentors for your young guys out of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the actual worst case scenario, which isn't that bad. But one thing, and as we joked about it, you said, I think, when this cataclysmic event happened just over a year ago, a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah.
The fallout is finally settled, and we can kind of see what. Obviously, we don't know who these picks are.
Yeah.
But we know what the final haul for the only player that I feel like doesn't get called calling him generational isn't being well, let's not go that far. We know what they got for him.
Yeah.
And one of the names on the list is Malachi Branham.
Yep.
Marvin Bagley III, the guy that played at Duke before Jason Tatum
was there. Got drafted over Luka, lest we forget. Marvin Bagley III.
Oh, do I have my years mixed up? Did Marvin Bagley, was he not 2015?
No, he was 20. He was the same class as Luka. He was picked. It was Ayton, Bagley, Luka, Jaren Jackson, Trae, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter Jr.
What a moment in time.
Yeah. Shea, not too far after that. I think the 8th pick was Bridges, but yeah.
Oh, so that's double hilarious now that you think about it. The LA had Shea.
Yeah, and that draft class, now the entire lottery is no longer on the team that drafted them.
Oh,
which that's considered, as we're 6-7 years away, or removed from that draft class. It's looked at as one of the best drafts of all time, rightfully so.
yeah. At this point in time, it will go down in the like same insane stratosphere as like 03
and 96
and 96
84.
84 was the draft. I was gonna say 85, but I didn't want to sound stupid.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And all of them have changed teams. Other than technically, like Miles Bridges is still on the Hornets, but the thing they used to get around that is he was traded on draft night, so it wasn't the Hornets' actual pick. Which, if you were to think about it that way, then Trae Young and Luka Doncic were already crossed off that list immediately because they were traded for each other on draft night. But still, with that one caveat, all 14 of the lottery picks from that season are all on different teams now. And then even some of the guys that are outside of lottery, like Jalen Brunson, he's also not on his original team. So,
also, what a heater from the Mavs that year.
Yeah, Luka and Jalen Brunson were their picks. Yeah, that is crazy. But anyways, the other thing that I really love about this deal for Washington is that they somehow were able to pull this off without getting rid of any single one of their good young players. Like AJ Johnson, he was like bordering the category. If you were to split the roster into two, like here are the intriguing young players and here are like the giveaways. AJ Johnson was like week by week straddling that line on either side. And that's the only guy that they had to give up out of that group. They got to keep Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, who are like definitely their top two keepers, and then Bilal Coulibaly as well. They got to retain. So like if you're keeping those three guys, that's really the only thing that matters for the Wizards. And they're adding these two, stars at very little cost at that point. It's just really their picks that are going out the door. But at this point, I feel like you kind of have a core that you'd like to develop and work on. So I like it from that point of view, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like, it's just wild.
Mm-hmm. It is a wild trade. That's just for sure.
The way that it does nothing but does something at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Trae Young and AD is going to be a pick and roll duo that's going to feed families if it's on the court and actually playing together. And if it's not, Trae Young and Alex Sarr is going to be the same exact thing. Alex Sarr is a better shooter than AD at this point, I think. So when AD is in there, Alex Sarr will probably be stretching the floor. So there might be a little bit of overlap offensively. But I think you were saying you saw some reactions of people saying that this is like showing that the Wizards they don't think highly of Alex Sarr or something, which I don't get that response at all.
I don't either. I just saw like a couple of, because I essentially follow, like I've got like a whole Twitter dedicated to, it just is following like beat writers of different NBA teams.
Yeah.
And it's like, a lot of them are like, well, there's the nail in the Alex Sarr coffin. And I'm like, what? I feel like, I was like, I don't think that's possible. Like there's not a, like, unless it's like they got Jokic or something, where it's like, no.
And even then, Alex Sarr and Jokic that's like one of the best front court mates I could possibly think of for
That's
Jokic.
true. I'm trying to think of like, if they got Zubats.
Yeah.
Just a center that's a very static center, but like Sarr's not that one dimensional. So
exactly.
There's like no.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of a player that would squash Alex Sarr because of how versatile he is. You know what I mean?
The player that is Alex Sarr is Anthony Davis, and you
or
just
Jaren
play
Jackson
them both.
Jr. Yeah.
And you just play them both.
Yep, exactly. He's in that same breed as AD and Mobley and Jaren Jackson Jr. That, tweener, the guy that can play 4 and 5 equally as well and can switch onto the perimeter and guards and is like a defensive player of the year candidate potentially, at his peak.
If things work out.
Exactly. So
yeah.
I like it. I like it for the Wizards. It's just weird. And I think it gives the Wizards fans in DC something to cheer on and root for and be happy about, which is something that they haven't had for quite a while.